I believe there's a number of natural ways that a man can increase his endogenous testosterone production. Can you give us an indication what some of those ways are and whether they're effective or whether they're myth?
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff at the moment that's marketed and sold online by, it's only supported and promoted by the people who sell it as natural testosterone boosters. If it comes in a capsule, it's not going to work. There's just not enough of anything in a capsule that's actually good for you that will improve your natural testosterone production. So the main thing that improves your natural testosterone production is the stuff that people don't want to do because it requires work. It's about, and I often say this, I've done a whole lecture on this. You have to start doing all the things you know you should be doing and stop doing all the things you know you shouldn't be doing. That will generally fix it. So the things that people need to be doing is more sunlight, more movement, more exercise. The things that people need to eliminate is the drugs, alcohol, and junk food. Those are the big three. And when we look at how all of this stuff works together, it's very difficult in the human body as a series of interconnected systems to go, oh, just take this or do more of this, and this entire equation will fix itself. We have to look at it very holistically. So, from a dietary standpoint, I know that vegan diets are quite popular, plant-based diets are quite popular, but objectively, scientifically, they lower free testosterone. We know this from research. And all the nutrients that the body requires to make testosterone are found in animal-based foods, particularly red meat and eggs are the richest in these nutrients. So increasing the intake of steak and eggs, the bodybuilders have known it for a long time, so that's an important one. And then reducing all the inflammatory junk in the diet, particularly the most harmful thing that people are consuming is deep fried food, because when they take those seed oils and they heat and cool and heat and cool and heat and cool in that deep fryer every day, they're oxidizing it multiple times. And when you put that into the body, and this has been found in literature very extensively, that consistently oxidized, repeated omega 6 fatty acids put the body into a very pro inflammatory state, which reduces sex hormone production. And that kind of leads to the final point, which is this: you want to be in a low inflammatory state to produce healthy testosterone levels. And the number one thing that people can do for this is getting rid of excess body fat. For men to have healthy hormone production, they need to be the opposite of diabetic. They need to be very insulin sensitive. And the way to be very insulin sensitive is to increase the amount of skeletal muscle mass and decrease the amount of body fat. So abs aren't just for the beach, they're for health. And under 15% body fat is going to allow for optimal hormone production. That's a lot leaner than a lot of people are. And then when it comes to removing things, alcohol is the biggest problem. And working now, I've just launched my second clinic in Europe. So working now, owning multiple clinics, dealing with people who aren't health enthusiasts, it can be quite difficult to explain and educate to people that you can't drink like a rock star and be healthy. I would also argue that you can't drink alcohol at all and be in good health. But I think a lot of people can get away with maybe 1 to 2 drinks once a week, maybe twice a week if they're in good health. But there's individual variants. But excess consumption of alcohol, anything more than 2 to 4 standard drinks a week, is absolutely ruining people's hormone production, because we have to have a very healthy liver. Tribes, communities, different cultures all over the world have all known the importance of the health of the liver. And when we drink alcohol consistently, we're constantly taking things like paracetamol, ibuprofen, these other pharmaceutical drugs that are quite harsh on the liver. It destroys a very important part of detoxification, which will then damage the hormonal system. So overall, it's kind of like if we're looking at servicing a car, we have to service every part of the car. We can't just upgrade the engine. So we have to put the body back into alignment with the way it's supposed to be to produce optimal signaling for reproduction rather than taking it out of a survival state. So it's a bit more of a it's a bit more work than people often want to put in. But the problem is that if they don't do those things and they go on testosterone replacement therapy, this is what causes all the side effects. So you're going to have to do all those things anyway, because if you take your Suzuki Swift that needs a service down to the mechanic and he goes, Ferrari engine, we'll put that in here. That'll solve the problem. You'll speed out of the car park and then it will fall apart in 8 weeks. And this is the problem that we're having with a lot of men jumping on TRT. They're going, I don't want to do all that. I'll just go on TRT. And now you're putting a huge amount of testosterone, you're putting the healthy levels of a man into an unhealthy body. So you're creating this environment that would never be attainable naturally. And this disconnect between what you're putting in and how you're living is what creates the side effects that we see on treatment. So if you want to have healthy testosterone levels, you try to get them naturally. And if that doesn't work, you still have to do all that stuff as if you were making it.